40%. That is how much a new Caravan can lose in value in its first year on the road, according to industry resale data. 40%. On a $100,000 van, that is 40 grand gone before you've finished your first lap of Tasmania. And right now, in the middle of 2026, that number is hitting harder than ever because the Australian caravan market is in freefall. 9 manufacturers have collapsed in the last 18 months. Dealer yards are overflowing with stock nobody's buying. Clearance sales of $5, $10, $15, even $19,000 off are running at every major brand. And somewhere out there, right now, an Australian who bought a brand new Caravan 6 months ago is sitting in a caravan park watching their investment evaporate in real time, wondering how they got it so wrong. This is the video I wish I could have made before they signed. 7 new Caravans Australians are already regretting in 2026. Not brands, not models, types of purchase, patterns of buyer's remorse that keep repeating across the country, and that I see evidence of every single week. I'm Liam. I'm 50. I've spent my entire adult life around caravans, workshops, and this industry. No sponsorships, no brand loyalty, nobody paying me a cent. Everything here comes from AC data, ASIC filings, documented owner reports, independent repair data, and first-hand trade experience. Let's go. Number 7 is buying new at full recommended retail in the middle of the biggest buyer's market this country has seen in a decade. Right now, the JB Group is running up to $19,000 off selected yard stock. New Age is advertising huge deals on existing inventory. MDC ran a clearance offering $11,000 off showroom models. Easy Trail has close to 80 discounted units listed on its website. And those are just the headline offers. Walk into any dealership in Melbourne, Brisbane, or Sydney right now, and the salesman will negotiate. Hard. Because every dealer in Australia is sitting on more stock than they can move. At the end of 2025, there were more than 200 caravan brands being built by roughly 180 manufacturers, competing for a market that has halved since the COVID peak. If you paid sticker price for a new van in the last 6 months, without negotiating, without shopping around, without even checking what the same van was listed for 3 suburbs away, you have almost certainly overpaid by thousands, and the depreciation hit on top of that overpayment is brutal. Number 6 is a van manufactured between 2021 and 2023, the COVID years. An independent repairer in South Australia, a bloke who sees hundreds of vans a year, recently went public saying COVID-built caravans are, in his words, the worst caravans out there. Manufacturers could not keep up with demand. They hired anyone they could find. Skilled staff were stretched across too many builds. Supply chains broke down and factories started substituting components, sometimes without telling buyers. The Axone survey found 80% of owners experienced a fault, and half of those called it major. If you bought a new van, and the build plate says it was manufactured during that window, you may be living with compromises that were baked in at the factory before you ever saw it. Check the date. If it falls in that range, get an independent inspection done sooner rather than later, because a small leak today becomes a rotten floor next year. Number 5 is a Chinese import from a brand that no longer exists. Star Vision emptied its Melbourne showroom in May 2026 without telling customers who had deposits. By July, it was in liquidation. X-Series, another Chinese import line, went down with Global RV when Sunland collapsed on June the 25th. These aren't isolated cases. Cheap imports appear at caravan shows every season with prices that undercut Australian-made vans by half, and then vanish when the market turns. The owners left behind have a van with no parts pipeline, no service network, no warranty, and no resale value. If you bought a Star Vision or an X-Series van in the last 2 years, you are now the proud owner of an orphan. Getting it repaired means paying a general fabricator who has never seen the design before, at $80 to $100 an hour, using parts sourced from overseas at your own expense. The purchase price was the cheap part. Everything from here costs more. Number 4 is the oversized luxury caravan that's too big and too heavy for where you actually want to go. The industry has been in an arms race of size and spec for years. Bigger layouts, more slide-outs, washing machines, dishwasher drawers, touchscreens, wine fridges. The result is vans that weigh 3.5 tons loaded, are over 25 feet long, and require a 3.5-ton towing capacity just to get them off the lot. And then the owner discovers they can't fit into half the caravan parks they want to visit. They can't take it on the tracks they dreamed about. The fuel bill is double what they budgeted, and the one gravel road they tried turned a $10,000 suspension job into a warranty dispute. A mate of mine sold his $140,000 dual axle after 18 months. Got 90 for it, 50 grand gone. His words to me were, "I should have bought a camper trailer and spent the difference on the trip. Quick favor before I hit the top 3, and these are the ones that really sting." If this is useful, hit subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it helps this reach the next person about to make the same mistake. On we go. Number 3 is the slide-out caravan, bought without understanding what you're actually signing up for. Slide-outs are the fastest-growing feature in the Australian luxury caravan market, and they are also the second most common repair issue in the entire RV industry, right behind air conditioner failures. Independent repair data from 2025 showed over 1,200 service requests related to slide-out problems out of 12,000 total, and leaking slide-outs alone accounted for 183 of those. The mechanisms jam, the seals crack, dry out, and let water in. The motors fail. And here's the part most buyers don't know until it's too late. If your slide-out jams in the extended position, you cannot legally tow the van until it's repaired. You are stranded, wherever you are, waiting for a mobile technician who may or may not service your area. Slide-outs can be fantastic if you maintain them religiously, if you understand the risks, and if you bought from a manufacturer that builds them properly. But the number of owners I hear from who had no idea what they were getting into is staggering. They wanted the extra space. Nobody told them about the extra maintenance, the extra cost, and the extra risk. Number 2 is the so-called off-road caravan, whose own warranty excludes off-road use. This is not hypothetical. The Act took Jayco to federal court in mid-2025 for allegedly showing their Outback, all-terrain, and cross-track models being towed through creek crossings and four-wheel drive only tracks in advertising, while the warranty specifically excluded damage from exactly those conditions. Let me put that in plain language. The ads showed the van doing things the warranty wouldn't cover. Jayco is the biggest manufacturer in the country, and they are not the only ones doing it. If you bought an off-road caravan from any brand and you haven't read the warranty document word for word, do it tonight. Look for exclusions around unsealed roads, water crossings, corrugated surfaces, and off-road tracks. If those exclusions exist, your off-road van is not covered for off-road use, and every K you drive on dirt is a K you're driving uninsured by the manufacturer. And number 1, the purchase that Australians are regretting more than any other right now is handing over money to a manufacturer that collapsed within months. Zone RV took deposits as high as 40% of the build price and used them to fund daily operations. When it collapsed in December 2025, customers who had paid six-figure sums were left with nothing. ASIC is now criminally investigating. Network RV went into administration owing $30 million, with 129 completed vans on the factory floor, and no certainty about who owns them. Sunland and Global RV followed weeks later. Star Vision followed after that. 5 brands in the space of 2 weeks in June 2026. If you handed over a deposit or a progress payment to any of these companies in the months before they went under, your money is almost certainly gone. The liquidators' reports are clear. Unsecured creditors, which includes customers, are last in line. This is the regret that haunts people, not a rattling cupboard or a leaking seal, the loss of tens of thousands of dollars with no van to show for it. So the recap. 7 new caravan purchases Australians are already regretting in 2026. Number 7. Paying full retail in a flooded market. Number 6. A COVID-era build from 2021 to 2023. Number 5. A Chinese import from a dead brand. Number 4. An oversized luxury van, too big for real life. Number 3. A slide-out bought without understanding the risk. Number 2. An off-road van whose warranty excludes off-road conditions. And number 1. Depositing money with a manufacturer that no longer exists. My honest takeaway is this. Not every new caravan bought this year is a mistake. There are outstanding manufacturers building world-class vans right here in Australia, and plenty of buyers who did their homework and are out there right now having the time of their lives. But the gap between a smart purchase and a devastating one has never been wider. The market is correcting, brands are falling, and the buyers who didn't ask enough questions before signing are the ones paying the price. Do your homework, read the warranty, check the ASIC register, negotiate the price, and never, ever hand over a large deposit without independent verification that the company can actually deliver what they're promising. Share this with someone who's shopping. It might save them a year of regret. I'll see you in the next one. Check the fine print before you check the color chart. This content reflects the presenter's honest opinions based on publicly available information including AC reports, ASIC filings, federal court records, independent repair data, industry reporting, and first-hand trade experience at the time of recording. Individual experiences may vary. Always conduct independent research and seek professional advice before making any purchasing decision.